All right, guys, let's get into it. So I got Ron and Ronny Rhodes and Tuner. I forgot your name already. Randy. See, I told you I was going to do that. I don't know what it is about me. I need to hear it 45 times. So Randy, Tuner, helping them on the new ECU setup, right? Because I don't know if you guys talk about that much.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's
okay. So you've switched to Motec, I see, right? And that's a new thing for you guys. How are you?
Yeah, it was. I always like to try to just, you obviously got to keep progressing, and I've always wanted to try the Motec, and I've always considered it the best.
Look at what Pro Nitrous runs.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the Pro Nitrous cars run Motec, and
Interesting.
I got a Nitrous car, and so that's what I kind of tailor my stuff after is the fastest class that runs my same kind of power adder. So we wanted to make the switch, and Randy is extremely familiar with it, and Randy and I and Ronny, and we've become close with Randy over the past several years.
He started on my car, 3-4 years? Yeah, he actually started helping me before we switched to fuel injection. Then we put Holly on it, and we were dialed that in for a while, and he's been on.
Clicked,
it just kind of clicked.
Yeah.
It's been good since.
So I actually did need to start this. I was talking to one of my Nitrous friends, and he said, make sure you thank them for what they do for Nitrous. Because I feel like Nitrous is tough to stick with for a lot of people because it's hard.
Correct.
It's not the easiest way to get a car down the track.
It's not
at your level.
It's not, and once you get, I get the combo from Bischoff. Erica, you got brand new state of the art nitrous engine, and you spray it, and you spray it as hard as you can. You figure out your limitations of it, and then that's it. If you got a boosted car, new blower, new turbo,
wheels and housings change.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, they got another 50 horsepower, 75 horsepower. For us to pick up another 50, 75 horsepower,
build a whole
hey, Bischoff, we need to build another $80,000 engine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's nothing new in Nitrous.
No.
It's the same.
You got jet and a solenoid.
Yeah.
I mean, you do got some flow stuff.
Yeah,
right. I mean, so, I feel it's the harder path.
Yeah.
So, I'm not complaining, but, people just love nitrous cars too. You know what I mean?
As Jason Terrell said, it's the sexiest way to go fast.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the bullhorns lit
man,
going down the track, it's cool.
The flames, that's just
We talk
the best
about
thing ever.
we talk about the zoomies all the time, but it's just like
I refuse to do it because you just, the zoomies sound badass at idle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or but going down the track, man, flames out, man. It's the best thing ever.
yeah, like Jason's
Exactly.
car, he wouldn't have the following he was if it was boosted.
Right.
No.
No, that car wouldn't.
And even, I was never really around Nitrous cars much, and then I started to hang around James Tall and those guys when they were running Gonzo's car, which you guys also built.
Yeah,
Full ground up.
Yep.
He brought that thing brand new to you
Yeah,
guys.
I remember him driving that car on the street when he bought it right off the showroom floor. That's how long I've known that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
worked
was until I guess, James acquired it. Basically, I'm the only person that's ever
touched that car.
touched that car fabrication wise.
And then James gets it, and you're like, you're going to scratch it. You're
Oh,
gonna
that's it's tough.
If he didn't have Sam there helping him, that thing it looked like my car, dented up and stuff. But that's a
He's
cool
hard
deal.
on equipment.
Yeah, I was glad Gonzo connected with James on that car because it needed to be ran by somebody like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gonzo just wants to talk shit on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's new on your cars now? Well, actually, let's start where you guys started racing. So you're third generation, right?
Yeah,
Racing?
Ronny's the third gen. So
yeah.
I started out, young kid, 14 years old, cutting grass. My dad was into the hot rod, street rod stuff like that. And so I cut grass to be able to buy the car that I drive today.
Really?
I bought that car 41 years ago. 41 years next month I bought that car. For $400, I cut grass to save up money to buy that car. And,
$400?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody's going to have a heart attack out there.
So it was actually a running driving car for $400, 6-cylinder car. It's all beat up and stuff,
Yeah.
but it ran and drove. So anyway, I got that and got it done. 16 years old, I got the car. My dad helped me, obviously, and
So he was building cars. What was he kind of building at the time? I know you say street rod, but I guess for
nothing racing.
nothing racing oriented.
Okay.
And he was very successful and well known in the street rod side of it. He won some big awards and built some really nice cars. And he
Up in Delaware, where you guys are still at?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I I got into the street racing like everybody does, and I was doing that all the time. Lost my license and the whole 9 yards. Police chases, like the whole 9 yards. Lost my license and then kind of did the car over again. Of course, made it faster, and it just kept progressing and progressing and progressing to where we are today. It's the paint on the roof and the quarters on the car. That red paint is still from 1989.
Wow.
That's how long that paint job's been on that car.
That's freaking cool. So when you got this at 16, what were your steps? Like, okay, let's pull the V6 out, and your dad helped you put like a small block in it or something?
I put a 400 small block in it. I had a friend of mine. I worked at a dealership, and I knew the owner real well, and still to this day we hang out. And he had some 400s sitting there, small blocks, and so that's what we put in it. And when I first got the car done, it ran it was 1150s, like that, 1160s, something like that. And
Wow,
that's
fast. I feel like at the time.
Back then, yeah. I was driving it to school and stuff like that. That was mid '80s,
Yeah.
So, and it's just I would never dream. I never dreamed that it would be the same car, and the build it's in now. I never dreamed.
There's not many people that can say that in class racing, that they've had their same car for 40 years like that.
Right. I mean, it's funny. Like Ronny and we've had the conversations several times. I got bodies at the house. I can build another car.
A better car.
My car's purpose built, but it's always been because I race it. I've raced it every year
for the last
forever.
Yeah, it's never been down.
It's never been down.
Yeah.
So you're always back half it this winter, mid half it, front half it. Like it's never been done front to back, top to bottom, all in 1 year. And he's talked about it, and we just put it on a jig, build a purpose-built car. He goes, we can paint it the same color and everything. Yeah. I said, man, that sounds great and all, but it would never be the same.
Yeah.
When you've been racing the same car for 41 years, man, like it just wouldn't be the same.
No.
Does it feel even like? How similar has it felt over the years? Because I'd imagine
there's the steering wheel, right?
Same steering wheel
on the car. Since
40.
It's been done. Yeah, 40
because that's what I was kind of thinking. Like when you get in it, does it still feel the same, or has there been times where it's like this is a different car now?
Nope, never.
Wow.
Never felt like a different car.
That's freaking cool. And the progression now to, what's the fastest pass in the car?
408 in the eighth. We've been with the big block. We've been 408 in the eighth. The small block we went 415, but we went 667.
World Cup.
At World Cup.
Yeah.
Doug's trying to crush. He's coming after me.
Yeah.
He wants that quarter mile leaf spring.
With his buggy, as they call it. I love when
he's
they get on
mentioned it a
Doug.
couple times. He's mentioned it.
He's on it.
He's like, how fast you been again?
Yeah, he's got a little ways to go,
but nah. So it's like, it's been quite the journey, man. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Also, I do need to call you guys out a little bit because I watched you guys race at World Cup, and you can see when you're just coasting. And it's like, oh, them nitrous cars are kind of just coasting.
You must be talking about Ronny.
That was us.
When you're racing Fran, I was like, oh, poor Fran. The candles are not even lit anymore, and he's just rolling by you.
That was legit a problem.
Let's clarify
That
this.
That was a legit a problem we were having.
Yeah,
everybody thought we were saying that, but we legit were shut. The nitrous
was shutting off at, what was it, 650? No.
We never ran his car on quarter mile.
Yeah.
So I had a different system in his, and the PDM was actually shutting the solenoids down. And
we
weren't
time,
looking at it.
every pass. So we're going through, we're thinking it's this. We changed AMS, we changed everything. And just
and we
like
found it.
It was like
I found it E1.
E1.
Yeah, E1. Because Q4, I'm like, all right, it's fixed. Q4, we're like, it's fixed. We're gonna run this thing out the back, and that's dude, it shut off, and I'm just like, I'm pissed. I was pissed. Like I'm like, I can't.
You guys get like 5 qualifiers, 4 qualifiers.
Shut off. And then we're going into E1, not knowing if it's fixed, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like it was running decent for shutting down earlier, and everyone's thinking we're shutting it down, and we're really not. I'm
like, you could see a nitrous car when the candles go out, and you're like, okay, that's when the nitrous.
No, it wasn't the case at all, because I was getting pissed.
We were digging in the wrong spot, and I just never thought to look. And it was shutting off.
It was just a power problem.
Yeah, and then we fixed it, and we're good.
Well, because I watched that race with Fran, and Fran's a friend of mine too, so I was kind of like, poor Fran, he just got driven around by a nitrous car with the flames off.
I almost got
quarter mile at that.
I almost got driven around by a motor car. I almost got driven around by
oh my God, Finn.
Finn.
Oh my God,
What's his first name?
Sean.
Sean Finn, dude, that was
and a car.
That was.
They were bitching about his car, and like every round.
I didn't have an easy round.
Yeah.
We had to race every round.
Yeah,
We were chasing a problem every round.
I think me and Finn was like a 25 to a 26. It was a.
Well, so
dude.
we didn't have any. We weren't working on the car to get any tune-ups. We were just trying to fix the problem. So then, once we're in eliminations, we're like,
trying to make sure it lives.
we want
too.
to,
Yeah.
we want to make sure it lives and
Not
make sure
air.
like we
Yeah,
didn't
not
know.
air. Yeah.
It's not nitrous air.
Did the
No.
car start to feel like it was coming apart? Because that's what
It did
James
come
was
apart.
saying.
It did
James
come
was
apart.
like,
The
everything
grill-
started to crack.
Yeah,
and
grill
like,
came off.
Yeah,
Oh,
the grills flew out. It,
Dude,
yeah, it started.
people are like, I was like, first time I did it. I mean, I ran a quarter mile before, but like I had to with the small block nitrous before I took it out. I wanted that 6-second, 200-mile-an-hour pass, and it's like, you know, you're thinking about the gearing and all this stuff, and you go, oh, dude. You run the car to 8th mile.
How much further?
You know,
How much further?
You always run it just a little bit past it. Yeah, it's quarter mile at that speed. It's not that much faster, right?
Further.
Bullshit, man. God damn,
Just
man.
hold
You're
on.
like, you're looking at, you're like, oh my God, are we ever gonna get there? You know?
You hear
And
that
it
motor singing?
Oh, that
So-
motor singing. The shit's vibrating and shit. You're like, oh my God, shit's gonna start flying off.
do you rev the motor out higher for the quarter mile,
Oh,
or do you
yeah,
just
yeah.
gear it and
Yeah,
change
we
it?
try
down?
to gear,
No.
but
We
we
changed
gear it, but it's
still-
Still revs it out.
Still just
Thank
singing
God
up
for
there.
thank God for mine on the lockup, man. You turn the lockup on, it's like, oh, it calms it down
Yeah.
for sure. You know.
Yeah, because the RPM.
Yeah, ours
is
like
creeping up.
we were thinking about changing the stator and stuff because we were like it was just, but like I said, we were chasing that problem and it just
We had
everyone-
other plans to do more, but we never even got to them because we were like, by the time we got into eliminations,
So you're saying you had more?
Well, you still won, right?
Hey.
You still won the class.
Yeah.
So now you're telling everybody you were struggling with the car, didn't really get good data, but then you still
Yeah, we
won
went
the
seven. We went 720. What one?
Yeah,
and then we got banded, or my combo got basically taken out. And then there's guys. What do you go 712 or 713?
what? Yeah.
Jeff Kinsler went 718.
And the
This
Honda,
year.
so I do a lot of the Hondas. I
Yeah.
have Mark
Yeah.
Podquist's all-wheel drive car, so we were one of the fastest Hondas
Yep.
in the same class.
Yeah, same class,
And I
yeah.
know that they're going to go bottom sevens as well,
Yeah.
and they're in the same class. So,
So it's kind of like
he should be able to run that combo still.
yeah.
But the Hondas are so less consistent.
Yeah,
Correct.
100%.
And not
Yeah.
not anything
That's like
against
we
your
raced.
tuning. It's
That's
just,
we raced eight.
O-Stream. Yeah,
O-Stream.
yeah.
He's like, you better. That
Oh.
motherfucker gonna come around you
Yeah,
fast.
luckily
Yeah.
he kicked the
Yeah,
turbo wheel
yeah,
out,
because
but-
I was waiting for him. He went 200.
Literally kicked it out.
Yeah, because he went like 202 or something. I'm waiting for him to just drive by me. I'm just waiting for it.
there's that famous World Cup video of the
Yeah.
Mustang that's just like,
Yeah, yeah,
wait, you can't
yeah.
even see him, and then the Honda just like creeps
Yeah,
around
yeah.
him.
That is hands down
the best.
that is
event.
the funnest race you will ever go to. I tell
Yes.
people it is if you have never been, you've never raced, you have to go. It is
I
like
think
a
it's
bucket
fun.
list race. It's
I think it's fun because there's no pressure. You're there to
Yeah,
just whatever. It's just well, maybe for
He
just
says
me.
there's no pressure.
No, but maybe just for me. But
$20,000 to win in the biggest
But
cup you'll ever
I think
see.
we're so used to Ultra Street X275.
They're tight.
They're tight. You
We're
got-
used to this. This is just out of the realm. We got around all these different countries, all these different
Dude,
people.
that is-
It's just all these like, and these people think, oh, imports are junk.
Dude,
they're
they're
junk.
badass.
These are some
they
bad
are
ass car.
legit.
Like legit.
Jason Miller does a killer job on, you know, like screening that, if you will. Like you
Yeah,
have to
there's some-
qualify for it. And dude,
Yeah.
like it's like I said, the different people, you know, people come from different countries and stuff like that. I'll be out there and I'll be like, go shake the guy's hand. I'll be like, good luck, you know. And the guy's
Yeah,
like, oh, no English. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, it's so cool.
It's just
They announce in 2 languages.
Right, it's
they have
different.
to.
It's
different.
a neat
It's-
event, man. I
it's
love
cool.
it. I can't wait to take the big block out there. Man.
Well, there's
That's
so
where
few
we-
times where a big tire car will line up next to a radial tire car.
Yeah.
Right.
That just doesn't really happen anyways.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a K
That-
series big
Yeah.
big tire
Yeah.
car with
Yeah.
a
That's like
315
when
next
we
to
went
him.
to World Cup. He was like, "You gotta do it. You gotta do it." I was like, "All right, we're gonna do it." And we were gonna run Street Fighter because that's where my car fit. We were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Street Fighter." I saw automatically Ultra Street crossover. Let's go to Street Fighter. I was like, "Okay, let's go to Street Fighter." Try to get my first 6-second pass. And then Justin Reggio and Sears, they were like, "Why are you running Street Fighter? You can run Wild Street." I'm like, "Oh, I can't." I was like, I didn't even look at the Wild Street rules. And they're like, "Oh yeah, if you run NPC Real Street rules, you can cross over." And I'm like, well, that's fine. And so then me and Randy started looking into it, and we're like, oh shit, we actually, if we run, because we knew we didn't have a shot in Street Fighter. I can't take the weight out and stuff to get there, and I was just going to go 6s. And no, they were like, oh, you can run Street Fighter, and Wild Street. And we're like, well, shit, I think we have a chance we can actually win this deal. And boy, did it kill us. It killed us. God dang, it
It's
killed
hard
us.
on a motor, quarter mile hard.
Yeah.
My
At
small,
your level.
my small block, it'll legitimately
Threw the heads off that thing.
the last pass. It was like it wouldn't even run, right? I just like putting it, moving
It
it
wouldn't
around, putting it in trailer.
You hear it on cranking.
Right, yeah. So I got it home. I got to pull my shop, and they wouldn't even fire up and run. I sent the motor to Bischoff, and Bischoff's like, these heads are junk. I'm like, what do you mean? He said they're cracked front to back. Both of them. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no. I'm like, oh shit.
So is Bischoff kind of from my understanding, the guy on the big Nitrous stuff on that deal
100%.
for the class racing?
Man, I've been with Bischoff. Oh God, it's got to be
25 years now?
At least 25 years now. Yeah. So it's been over 25 years, and man, I tell you, when Bischoff retires, that's when I retire.
Yeah.
Because he's
awesome, man.
He's awesome. He's great to work with, and I just couldn't imagine doing it without him. He lives and breathes it like I do. I can call him at midnight, when I got a problem.
Shit,
I call him on a Sunday.
Bischoff was talking him off the ledge the other day.
Yeah, I was like, I'll get heated, and Bischoff talked me off the edge. I was heated the other day. But, we were just trying to get to this race, and we were waiting on stuff, and it wasn't his fault. But like, man, Bischoff's a good friend, man. And if you want to race, I mean, anything, he works on anything, and he's just badass at everything he does. But man, if it's a nitrous motor, God, forget it. Bischoff's just got that figured out.
Maybe it's an engine builder thing, because mine's kind of the same way. He's pretty calming, like I'll start panicking, spiraling, like, oh man, like what if it's this, that, and the other thing, and he's like, just bring it in.
Yeah.
Like, why are you sitting here panicking? Just bring it in. And I'm like, all right, you're right, Joe. You're right. Because Joe, but fast forward, he's the same way. He shows up to the track, flip flops. He's just hanging out.
Right.
Like, you need a calming engine builder, I guess. It's part of the fun.
Bischoff's. Yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Absolutely not.
That's between you got him, you got Doug Cook. He's been.
That was the best change I ever, going to Bischoff.
That was the biggest step for the program, you'd say?
100%. And this is back when I was running NA. So I ran NA for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Bischoff did my stuff. And
what class were you doing then?
Ram.
Before that it was NMCA.
Yeah, NMCA.
Oh, okay.
And
RIP.
Then some local stuff, Ram Racing, did that. And then I was like, man, it's just NA shit was getting so expensive. I mean, I'm like, I spent $20,000. I'm like, for $20,000, I can pick up a lot more than a couple numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I went to the Nitrous, and that was fun, man. Making that switch over was that was a big change for me, and man, I was like, why did I wait so long?
Have you been tempted to draw away from the Nitrous? Has there been some temptation? Pro Chargers tend to be what people see.
Nitrous guy always. That's just natural, progression.
I think there's
Nitrous, Pro Charger. Then like a Roots blower.
I think there's only one move from here. I think you go from Nitrous to Roots.
Yeah.
Don't even waste your time in the middle.
I don't know. It's been talked about because I won the championship in X last year. That's the biggest accomplishment you can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
An X270 or anything, win a big championship over there in the Radial Outlaws.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I've been running X forever, and so we start talking. Do we build?
Seems like pro mod's the thing to do right now.
Yeah, right.
It's hot.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's hot.
But if you start now, it might not be
Yeah,
hot.
Exactly.
No.
I think I spend the same amount.
Yeah.
But, but so we've talked about boost versus nitrous, and I don't know. I'll talk about it, but deep down inside, I think everybody knows what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Big cubic and nitrous motor.
Yeah, I mean,
It's tempting though when you see like Kai Kelly's, Radial tire car.
That's what Kai says to him.
I said, you missed that nitrous yet? He's like, no, not really.
He's just like, no.
When you see that thing romp the throttle after a burnout, it's
dude.
like.
Well, that's what Kai's like. You go from nitrous to this. Don't mess around anything in between.
Yeah.
So you just go right to the roots. You don't even.
But it's like I feel like I spend the same amount of money. Okay, so if you look at it, I'm not a rich guy, but I'll spend whatever it takes. Fine, I bought Motec.
Yeah.
That's all right there. But now
They don't give that away.
Everyone buys Motec.
Yeah, everyone buys Motec.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, everyone.
You know why
buys
they don't give it away?
They don't need to.
Exactly.
They don't need to. But anyway, I feel like I spend the same amount of money, but the problem is like the maintenance. You go to blowers motors, man, you're putting crank rods and
Same thing
things
with
like
big.
every 25 pistons.
Same thing with big cubic inch nitrous motors too. Them 959s.
Right. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's been wet and rainy, and you guys haven't gone down the track. Have you changed pistons just in case? Like, better just change them. We've been sitting around too much, or you romp the throttle and it's like, oh, plugs.
Yeah.
No, we're bored.
Yeah.
I know. it's actually going to be pretty interesting because it's going to be like almost like an off the trailer qualifying.
It sucks for us.
And we don't have any data on Motec, so
Yeah,
we're
we're
just
like-
starting from scratch.
We're legitimately, like, we made an attempt Monday, kicked the tires, and
Now we
looking
know
back,
why.
we know why. Just didn't have enough. We legitimately did not have enough power in it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we just
So-
we tried band.
Just
we
couldn't get the RPM to just
Correct,
get it
exactly.
moving.
Took a gas that
Yeah.
went too low.
Yeah. So
Nothing
you know,
was
it was-
happy.
So now here we are, dude. I need at least, and I'm being
3.
conservative, 3 short hits to just get, because you got to get individual cylinders of fuel and timing on them, and it takes short hits to get there.
Yeah.
So I mean, my first full hit might be E1, if I'm lucky. I mean,
Yeah.
but like I came into this deal knowing, you know, we are like testing, if you will. I mean, I won the championship last year. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to win it again this year. And it's still not out of the question. But you got to go. Sometimes you got to take a year and go. all right,
Redevelop.
we got to redevelop here and regroup here because you know I've been wanting to try this Motec, and you know there's a lot of good stuff there.
You got the target on your back too.
Well,
So.
yeah. So, but like, I'm gearing up for next year. So who knows what I might do next year? If I stay in X, I'll have this all sorted out 100%. If I do decide to go to LDR with a big, nitrous motor or something, this will all be figured out on this combo. So it's just kind of a learning
Stepping
deal, if you
sword.
will.
Yeah, we started out. We don't have a. We started out with. We're actually using new firmware from Chris Delgado's, writing it for Nitrous.
Okay,
He
so
doesn't
it's
have
not
it-
just the
This is all
pro.
brand.
He doesn't have it released, so it's not like we could go. If I put a Haltech on his car or Fuel Tech on his car, I could take. We already have that stuff worked out. Throw this in. We could probably get down a lot faster or quicker, but we're developing what we wanted to do from the
Software.
ground up. And Chris has been on the phone with us every pass and helping with all that stuff. So
Yeah, we're trying to put something together where we got several cars that are gonna.
We got
that are behind
three-
mine. that
three,
were
coming.
like a package.
Yeah. So,
So-
it's kind of like the development, and then
Yeah.
it goes
Yeah.
down from there.
Knock all the pistons out of Ron's motor.
Yeah.
So it just the cost for the guys behind me
Yeah.
just goes higher. The more pistons I put in it, the more it costs them.
First one through the wall
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
bloody.
yeah.
It's,
Well,
it's
that's-
just somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
That's really That's
we
what
were-
you
we
are.
were-
That's a great way to put
Yeah,
it.
we were supposed to do my car first, and just
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. His
Did you bring your car
would've
too?
been-
Nah, it's
It's a
a
million
Okay.
pieces.
million fucking
He's
million
doing
pieces.
something.
Yeah,
Trying some secret scroll stuff on there.
yeah. We're doing some big changes, so it's
Still in Ultra?
uh
Maybe.
maybe.
I was talking to John last night. We were all hanging out, and I was like, "Are Ultra the most whiny group of people?" Because I'm in the group on Facebook, and it's
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
They're these people just.
It's the same ones.
It's the same.
It's always the
it's
same
like,
ones, and
Why are you even
it's
talking?
usually not the guys that are running up front.
not
Yeah.
the fastest guys. Yeah. Well,
Right.
small block nitrous needs help, from my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Always
don't
needs
understand.
help.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just don't understand why they bitch because there's nothing you can do about it. Why are you crying? Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. You just have to be faster. You
Yeah,
kinda
that's
have
what-
to.
X used to be really bad.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh,
but
X was
honestly,
brutal.
Ultra, I don't think it's as like. There's not much that bitching on the internet no more. I just don't think people care anymore. Like I know I don't. I don't give two craps. I'm gonna build what I want to build, and I'm gonna upgrade what I want to upgrade, and
Got
that's
more
it.
important things to do to sit on the internet. And
But
argue.
yeah. Shit's in a million
somebody
pieces.
Somebody that doesn't even race, and if they do race,
Yeah.
they don't come to the big
Yeah.
races. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Maybe
No.
it's Ultra got fast enough where it weeded out some of those guys.
It did.
Because,
It did.
you know, when it
Ultras-
went a couple tenths faster all of a sudden.
Ultras, yeah, it's getting to the point.
Ultra's brutal, man.
Yeah, it's. Man, I don't know where it's going from
Even
here.
our local at Cecil.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Cecil's like
the race is so tight.
Yeah, and we got a lot of fast cars in
Dude,
Cecil. It's better than this Radial Outlaw stuff. I'm telling you right
the-
now.
the
That's
Ultra class?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ultra.
Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil.
Oh,
And that's why people are like, oh, why don't you travel? Yeah, I want to travel,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
you're
like,
running.
dude,
Yeah.
I spend $3,000-$4,000 to travel where I can race at home for freaking 2 days for $2,000 and race
Yeah.
the best of the best.
And that's a
40
great track up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 40 minutes away. I mean,
Yeah,
dude.
we get 20 plus cars, and they're all. Dude, there's no docks.
Yeah, dude. Halsey's
Yeah, Halsey's killing it.
he-
He's killing it with that stuff.
that streetcar shootout. I think it's got to be 25 years. It's been going on. 20
It's
years.
got to be, yeah.
And dude, they do a great job, man. It's a fun, like it's a Friday night deal. Like, so if you get there Friday,
Test during the day,
Right.
Then Friday night qualifier, and then Saturday morning qualifier, and go into eliminations. It's over with.
You're,
Yeah.
you're done Saturday night. It's
Yeah.
a nice little.
That's a
Not
great
going
way
for
to
a
race.
week.
Dude,
Yeah, not
it's-
going for a week.
You're not going for a week.
This is like a marathon. You show up Monday and you're not
And then you're
leaving
sitting
until
around.
Monday.
Yeah, and then you're sitting around, just like, I don't know.
If you
It's
can't,
not me.
like, I know your shit's not figured out, but like if you can't get your shit figured out in like 1 or 2 qualifiers, pack her up.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
3 qualifiers.
Like you go to
not
Ducks
a big,
race.
I'm not a big fan of the week-long races.
It's a
but
lot.
But it's just.
What you got to do?
Yeah, I'm committed. I mean, where else am I going to race? So, it is what it is. But, I 3 qualifiers, going eliminations, I'm good with that kind of stuff, man.
Like PDRA has a good thing going.
Yeah.
The way they run their schedule is awesome.
They got a good thing going.
It's like a 2-day event.
Yeah.
Done,
It's all
done
slick
Saturday.
tires though, right?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
slick tires.
All
but
slick
But
yeah.
I ran over there that one year, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the schedule, man. That was just, you show up Thursday, if you test if you wanted to, ran Friday, Saturday, and you're done, home.
Yeah.
And it's
And
not too
Sunday.
far for me. I mean, a lot of the races are, all these races, I mean, I leave my stuff down here now.
For the winter, you
Yeah.
might as well.
Yeah, I mean, for at least a couple races, I leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for the winter series, it seems reasonable to leave it down here for a lot of people.
Yep.
Like, especially some of these pro mods that come from like Canada or California
Yeah.
or like something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
I
It's
don't-
crazy.
That's where I'm at with mine. I'm like, I can't do both. Like, so maybe I'm gearing up for 2026. So
Just to do something different.
it's going to have to stay down here. I can't race Cecil, unfortunately. It's just kind of one of them deals. You got to pick and choose. I won Cecil's championship how many times? 5 times? 4 times? Something like that. I don't know. It's not. I'm ready for a challenge.
Yeah. Are
And,
you tuned in any other cars down here then?
This week, no.
Just this?
Yeah, it's a domestic
This
stuff.
is enough.
Yeah,
Just the one?
His is enough since we're developing from scratch. Now I do a lot of import stuff.
He's
so.
got a new car from. He's actually.
Well, so he's in a new program coming.
Yeah, I got a new program coming that I'm gonna be driving for. So, Norris. So we're
That's
gonna see
cool.
where that's gonna go.
Yeah. So
What's the setup on that then?
It's a new. It's a 2024 Supra.
it's a
With
2020 B58 Supra.
Oh,
with
cool.
Turbo 400. Turbo.
Yeah, so
it's
it's
set up for like
built-
Ultra X.
Yeah.
So it's radial
very
tire.
cool.
Yeah, but it's a radial tire car. So it's see where that goes.
He's,
So
yeah, I've been working with Norris for years. I'm going to tune that car with them, and but they need help. Just chassis wise and driving
trying to get in
wise.
this.
So
They're trying to get into this world a little bit. So
With a BMW engine.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
basically-
funny to hear.
yeah, it's basically what's it? It's like a 2JZ basically. It's
well,
it's-
it's different, but it's a 6-cylinder
Yeah,
inline 6.
yeah.
They have stuff in development to progress that.
I mean, it's an aluminum motor, so it should be lighter than a 2J,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
should be better in some aspects, but
They got challenges. We
Yeah,
know
so
about.
we're
We
trying to
know
eye-
about we'll start out and have fun with it.
see where that goes.
that'll be cool. I mean, it's smart to do because like there's no parts development left on 2Js.
Yeah.
You can actually make money developing parts for B58 Supras.
Yeah, I
because-
believe that's what his goal is. He's got stuff in the works with that. So we'll be at Texas 2K.
Yeah, with that. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll do that there and kind of see where that goes.
Hey, quarter-mile guy.
Yeah, it's gonna roll me. I ain't gonna want to get my Jesus.
Did it take some time to like learn not to lift when you?
No, it did it for him.
It did it for him.
Yeah,
He was struggling to
yeah.
stay in it.
I'm straight. I'm.
He was
well, I'm
driving
like- yeah,
the
like-
last quarter and all motor on that car.
Yeah,
Huh.
I was worried about that, but now, like I said, it was doing it for me.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I mean, it's gonna take a lot to get that car. They're already pretty small and light cars, so they
Yeah.
should be pretty
Yeah.
stout.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I'm excited to see a B58 develop a little more because they've kind of stagnated
Yeah.
a little here.
Think it'll fit that Ford, John?
Oh, of course, anything will
Yeah.
fit. Fourth gen. That's the best chassis right there.
Yeah.
It's still got a torque arm. I know Gonzo was saying he does too, but I'm not buying it.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It's the
There's one there. Does it do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's the,
legit. It's a legit
Racecraft.
Racecraft. Yeah.
What's it, the 46-inch one? I think it's the shorter one. They have the long one and the short one. I think
It's
the
a short
46 or
yeah.
44 sounds familiar.
Yeah, with a Merlet housing and all. Merlet. Actually, Marty was the first one. We actually sent him.
For Gonzo, yeah,
yeah.
for fourth gen.
Yeah, for the 4th gen. He's the
Yeah,
first
that's cool.
torque arm to do that for them. And yeah, it's all that car works.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that thing's been real fast with
Yeah.
the 60.
Yeah, it's legit. Yep, torque arm. Yep.
But I mean, it's a badass car. It's
Yeah.
it's no expense spared.
No,
Gonzo
no.
style titanium bolt
Yeah,
on
yeah,
everything he
yeah,
could.
yeah.
Every time I look at that car, I'm like, Gonzo, you're crazy. there's titanium everywhere on
yeah,
that thing.
Yeah.
That was a nice car.
I'm sure
Was.
your car's awesome. Yeah, I know. I feel like James is eventually going to own that thing.
Yeah,
Because Gonzo is
He
eventually
does.
just gonna-
He does.
he owns it.
Yeah, I mean, it's his, right?
James bought
James
it.
bought it.
James did buy it, right?
yeah.
I heard rumblings of that, and I was talking to James today, and couldn't remember if he posted about it or not.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he did a
YouTube.
video. Yeah, YouTube video on it.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
that
buy
makes
it. yeah.
sense.
So it's not like we're letting a big secret out.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm excited to see him race that thing a little more. He
How
kind
long,
of
how long do you think it'll be before there's a turbo on it?
probably this winter. Probably after.
yeah.
Probably doing it now.
Whenever there's a downtime in racing, that's the tough part about being in Florida. There's not really a
Yeah.
downtime because now, after the winter series, he's got to start racing up by you guys if he wants
Correct.
to keep his points up.
Right.
Correct.
And the point stuff makes it pretty difficult because you can't really just.
That's like, what's your downtime?
Summer.
Summertime.
Probably after we got what?
So
4 or
after
5
Alabama?
races? We had
Alabama?
January, February, March. So we got this race right here, Georgia,
Alabama.
Rockingham,
And then Alabama.
Alabama.
Which will
Then,
probably be too hot at Alabama. They'll probably
No,
cancel.
then May, I think is Shakedown. So after that, we're down for 3 months or something
And
like that.
you 4-linked it between not missing our points race,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
We just changed electronics, not missing a points race.
Yeah.
Which
you
most
had-
people take the car down
Yeah, we did
for a whole
If
year.
I take the car down too long, I'd probably stop racing. Because I'd be like,
Like, where's all this money coming from?
Yeah.
where does money come from? It's weird.
Yeah, because we did.
I need to get a boat.
Yeah.
We 4-linked
I'm not
it.
that crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm maybe stupid, but I'm not that
we
crazy.
4-linked it, double frame railed it, and front halved it. The 3 months?
Yeah, that was brutal, man.
That was
That was brutal.
Jeez.
that was a lot of work.
Thank God my basement, my car is in my basement of my house.
How do you get it in there?
So you just go around.
Got a
it's
ramp into your
it's a-
basement?
It's just
Okay.
a ranch house, and you just pull around the backyard. Pull right there. It's like 1.5 bays. Got my TV, my couch,
Oh,
my
dang.
fridge.
It's
Dog comes
literally-
down, hangs out with
It's
me.
right below the kitchen.
Yeah,
Kitchen's
underneath
right.
the kitchen.
Yeah. They can tell when you're welding, the lights kind of
Yeah.
flicker.
Dude, that car is. That car is. Everything is done in that car in my basement.
It's never in the shop.
It's never in the shop. All the welding, I'll be fish mouthing. I'll be walking to the shop. My house is next to the shop. So I'll be walking to the shop, fish mouthing, carrying the pipe back. Makes you a better fitter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
You know when you gotta walk.
everything's done except for any paintwork. Paintwork's not the paint
Yeah,
shop.
like my car, I can't tell you last time I was at the shop.
Yeah,
They
I
just
don't have
don't-
time for it and a room for it over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last place I want to be is at work.
True. Yeah.
So, what's the story on your shop? Because I know you guys do chassis work or did,
So,
and you do a lot of parts.
I mean, really, it kind of
Basically,
started
it's
with.
just like Jason, kind of.
Yeah, we started out. I was at my dad's shop. My dad has a big shop out back, his house. Started doing cars there. I was 30 years ago because Ronny was born, and so we were doing stuff there. And a friend of ours had a body shop. He was retiring, and I've known him for forever. So we decided to buy it. So, the one section of the shop was just race car stuff that I did, fabrication work and all that. And then the back half was still a body shop, like a collision shop, did some restoration stuff and street rod stuff like that. And then Ronnie started working there in the fab shop. And, so then my dad, finally, we stopped doing collision work and just doing, custom cars and whatever. We were just finishing up a Pro Touring car, Firebird, stuff like that. And during that time, I started building these radiator supports. Built one for my car, and then a lot of people seeing it were like, "Oh man, that's pretty cool." I'm like, I start making these things. So I started making them, and people would call me and stuff like that. And then, of course, I was talking to Jason Terrell in Georgia one time. And he's like, "Man, you need a website, man." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." I said, "But I don't know that stuff." You know what I mean? And I hate paying somebody to do stuff like that for me. So he's like, "Dude, trust me, you need it." I'm like, "All right." So then me and Ronnie started looking into it, and it is a lot. Things are a lot more simplified nowadays. How to do that stuff. I'm not like a computer guy, but you know what? Me, Ronnie, and a friend of mine figured out that whole website, and him and I run it now. Ronnie and I run that whole thing. Man, that was the best thing I ever did. So we started selling them on there, and of course, the sales is. I build. I don't even know how many different ones we build. We started doing seat brackets and stuff for
What people don't build for,
Right.
these older cars, trucks,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Everyone does Mustangs and
Right, I don't
Like
want
hinges and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
People
Yeah.
do all that stuff. So
I
it's
make one Mustang part, and it was only because I had to do it for a car I was building. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So so we started doing that. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing how many cars are out there. That,
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's
You're
crazy.
sending them all across the country.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we are. Yep, yep.
And it's so that really took off, and so then you kind of scale back, what jobs you take in. I mean, we've built some killer class cars.
Yeah, high-end cars.
Yeah, some
But
very
you
nice
get
cars.
to be pick and choose
Right.
on like who you work for and what customer cars
Yeah, we
you
got
build.
2 big cars now we're doing for class cars, so it's like,
Yeah, it's not a big shop, but man, we put out some nice stuff. I'm
That's cool.
I'm very proud of it. So then so I really like the parts side of it because it's a lot easier, man. It's it's just so
the
much
big
better.
projects suck.
Yeah, the big projects are just brutal,
It
man.
takes forever. Just
And so then we just started the YouTube channel. Jason. It's like, man, you guys are crazy. But everybody's asking me, well, you
Yeah.
got a YouTube? And I'm like, no. I'm like, why not? I'm like, man, as you can see, I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I got I got my hands in a lot of things.
But that works both ways. It's like you got a lot going on. Why are you not posting it?
Right. It's like, dude, we're doing this stuff already.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then here again, I'm like, I'm not going to pay somebody to come in here and do all this stuff. It's not that I got anything against anybody, but you know what? Ronnie and I control of everything. That's the way I want it, man.
yeah, you got to worry about somebody quitting.
Yeah, somebody halfway through quitting, or if I want to make a change or I want to do something, him or I can do it.
Yeah.
And just be in control of the whole thing. So hopefully the YouTube thing takes off, and I hope people enjoy it. I think people enjoy seeing.
Behind the scenes.
I
stuff.
don't look, man. I don't look at myself the way people tell me they look at me. I'm very flattered. I'm a humble racer. I'm just a kid that got a Camaro when he was 14 years old, and I just want to race, man. I just love racing that car. I love that car. I wouldn't change a thing, but I have people all the time to be like asking me questions or just embarrass me, if you will. I'm not that guy, But man, when they see behind the scenes stuff and the comments they have and the things they say to me at the races, or they'll send me messages, it's very humbling, man. It's very flattering, extremely flattering, and it makes me feel good that if people enjoy it, then that's awesome.
I mean, if we're gonna build like a Radial tire Nitrous Hall of Fame, I don't see who else's name would be on that.
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking about the other day, like, who else is left in X? That was who's raced X every year since it's.
Oh my God.
when it was like BFG tires.
Right, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, right?
No,
or not. Man,
Who's
it
left?
just- yeah,
I think you. I think you're the only one that's been there every single year.
yeah.
That's
That just
crazy.
tells me I
That's
need to-
awesome.
That just tells me I need to move on.
Yeah.
Let the dream go.
Let the dream-
But you
that's
just
it.
won.
I
You
got
just won the
yeah, yeah.
championship.
I got the championship, and that dude. If you watch the videos on the YouTube, you'll see me cry like a baby. I did, dog. I cried, man. That's how much I love this shit, man. I just love it, and I live, sleep.
That's all he
this
does.
stuff.
That's all he does.
That's
Well, that's the
all-
reason you won the championship. I mean, you can tell who's got that and who doesn't
Dude,
pretty quickly.
This isn't something to brag about. It's kind of embarrassing, but dude, I legitimately. You can ask my son. You can ask anybody. I've legitimately never ever been on vacation.
Really?
Never
No.
been on vacation. Because I go racing all the time. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going. Ronnie, how many days? He's got it down to how many days?
Yeah,
I'm
like
going
80
a
days.
year.
80 days a year.
80 days.
I don't
a year.
know.
So he's like, he marks it on the calendar.
Yeah, every
Go
day's-
on another week.
go on another-
week. Go on another week. And I was like, so I can't keep taking away from the shop
Yeah.
and go racing and go on vacation. But, that's what I'm hoping, like, with the store. And maybe, you know what, if I get some revenue from the YouTube, maybe it'll make things a little easier. Maybe I won't have to work so hard at the shop manually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it kind of freed up a little bit, man.
It's funny you guys talk about Jason Terrell because I have a friend, Jimmy, and he's like, Jason Terrell's like my guardian angel. Like, I'll be having a problem and all of a sudden the phone's ringing and it's Jason. And it's funny to hear like he was influential
Right.
on those things. Like he did, he just kind of poked you in the right direction.
We're so alike.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like
We seen him at PRI this year, and he's like, "You gotta get this YouTube going. You gotta get this YouTube going." I was like, "All right, Jason. All right, I'll get on it.
Yeah,
I'll get
sure,
on it."
Jason.
Yeah. He's on it, man.
I mean, we were hitting it hard,
We were hitting it hard.
and then unfortunately, I won that championship. I'm in Georgia. Highest point of my racing career. Fucking crying. Everything's great. Fucking then 2 days later, I get home and unfortunately my dad passes away. So it's like,
sorry,
man,
yeah.
that just like crushed this big moment in my life. So
Yeah.
it just crushed that, and then that just kind of crushed the YouTube, put everything aside,
We
and
have to deal with all the shop stuff.
yeah, still dealing with the shop stuff. So it's like, it has been a lot lately. And then finally I said, Ronnie, we got to get this YouTube going because it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time to get it developed and really solid. But Ronnie's got some. Ronnie's done it. I think in my eyes, he's done a killer job
Trying.
on editing for the first time. You know,
It'll come in over time.
Yeah,
too.
it'll get better.
yeah. I mean, it's just so funny what people love. Like, I mean, there's just the stupidest little clip of me in the car, and that thing's got 10,000 views in what, a week and a half?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't even a week. Well,
yeah, it's not that long now.
fuck, it's only been. It'll be 2 weeks this Sunday that we've had YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's been a week. I fired the car up. So that was like,
Yeah.
so, within a week,
Yeah, what is it?
10,000 views on it's just the stupidest.
awesome.
They're trying
It
to
was
show-
like a 2-minute video, you know what I mean?
I think they're trying to show more raw, just like
Well, people want to
not scripted.
No.
We're filming just
Yeah,
as
I
it's
mean-
going on. So it's a
Yeah.
little different. Some people do a lot of scripted stuff and like
Yeah.
do a lot of editing to clear stuff up, and he's
No,
doing
see, I don't want
here's
that.
just what happened. You see the good and the bad. Like,
Right.
Yeah, a
And
week
that-
ago today I posted that.
Yeah.
A week ago
So,
today.
he was in Georgia video and dumb shit. Then he caught
I caught
me,
some pieces. Yeah.
me and
James.
James going back and forth. I'm yelling at James about something.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going back and forth. And it was just a funny little clip that just makes it even more. It's just natural.
Getting
And I-
James involved is always a good move
Right.
too. People
Exactly.
love James.
So I just like,
Big YouTube guy.
Yeah.
I want to do stuff at the shop because anybody can see the car go down the racetrack. You can find out anywhere.
Yeah.
People.
But people want to sit there and watch you pulling the motor out or working on the motor or swinging bars on the four link and just throw in a little tips.
They think his car doesn't just sit in a trailer. I mean, I've been seeing what they do, and I've come from other teams. You see how the guys that are successful, he's not just putting a trailer, coming out and swinging for number one qualifier.
And you don't just blow the dust off.
Chance.
Right.
No,
You
the
don't have-
car's apart. They're leaking it down. They're checking this. Oh, this isn't right. They're pulling it apart, fixing this. Always making a change or progressing some little piece too.
Yeah.
Not staying stagnant. A lot of these people think they want to buy a race car and
God.
put it in a trailer and then just show up at the next event. The reason they are where they are is that it's work all week.
Dude, if I'm not in the basement working on that car, I'm upstairs on the laptop working on that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Looking at
always.
this, looking at
talking
that.
with people and
Yeah, I'm on the phone. If I'm not working on it, I'm on the phone with Bischoff. I'm on the phone with Dean. You know what I mean? Or on the phone with Randy. Whoever.
That's another one that's behind the scenes. Dean.
Yeah,
Marinas.
like Dean Marinas, man. Him and I.
What does he do behind the scenes then?
He answers all my dumb
Yeah,
questions. yeah, I'll be like,
No,
Dean,
or he just verifies what you're thinking.
yeah, no, Dean was hot, man. We go. Dean
this
and I
a
go
bad
way
idea?
back now.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I'll call him up and he'll I'll be like, yeah, Dean, I'm gonna do this. He goes, yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm like, what do you mean? And then he'll say, well, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. You know what I mean?
He's
Or
just-
he'll say, yeah, that's a good idea.
But what side of the car is he more
Dean knows everything.
all across?
Yeah,
everything?
yeah.
Okay.
He
I didn't know if
knows
he was like the
everything.
nitrous guy on the stuff. Or
Oh,
like,
Dean's obviously extremely smart with the nitrous.
Yeah.
Extremely smart.
He's good with everything.
but
The
Dean
trans,
is just-
the converters.
chassis
The,
stuff.
Dean's a smart guy and he knows it all. He does. He just
I
really,
got a few guys I call up like that, and I'm like, I hate you because you just answered the question way smarter than I.
Right,
Sitting
yeah.
here thinking about this for 2 hours, answering. Oh yeah, you just do that. And I'm like, damn, I need to be smarter.
I'll call Bischoff and I'll be like, yeah, go ahead and try that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. And then after I burn it up, he's like, oh yeah,
Have you guys been able to get any new data points on the car that have been helping this year with, Motec and obviously connecting with Doug and Rife and all them, and then they have every sensor under the sun.
Right.
Well, I made them. We maxed out the I/O on on the Motec and an expander and the dash almost. So
Nice.
we're gathering more. But when they had the Holly on there, well, Mike Thompson really helped us.
Oh, dude, I couldn't.
I
wouldn't be
learned
where I'm
from
at without
him. Yeah, Mike. I've been learning from him to help with both cars, and he ran that car for most of the time anyway. So
Yeah, and for the record, I switched from Holly to the Motec mainly because I believe that it's better, and in the end, I hope to have a happier engine. And
Yeah.
I think Motec can deliver that for me. So, what do you do when you have a happier nitrous motor? You jet it up.
You spray more.
Spray more so it's unhappy again.
Yeah.
But, that's what it takes to win the race. Well, that's what we're going to do. But that's, because a lot of people are like, oh, why are you switching? Why are you switching? And you know what?
Yeah, it's not that one. Yeah, it's not like.
I had a great run with the Holly.
Yeah.
You know, it won me a lot of races, won me a championship.
Yeah.
But it's nobody did anything wrong or anything like that. It's just that you know, Randy, you know, kind of like really kind of started it with the Motec.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, he
honestly,
could have saved me like $50,000.
Yes.
Hey, Duck, I'm gonna need that $25,000 next month. But you know, and Randy's no salesman. He's got a regular job. He's not doing this for a living, and he just said he just firmly believes I'll have a happier engine, and that's what I need.
We combine some features and things like that as well, and we're doing things. We're having stuff done the way we want it to be done in this firmware and this software too, which is something you can do.
That's what's cool that no other ECU offers is you can truly build anything you want into the software if you have the right guy behind you. Like
Chris
Delgado.
Yeah, that Chris has been. I've never really personally talked to Chris or seen Chris, but I mean him. He's just.
I've known him
he's
for
been,
years, so.
Yeah, he's been super helpful. I mean, I know he's a very, very valuable asset.
Yeah.
You know, and Randy, working with Randy and them too. I mean, those guys. I
They're passionate for it.
I have no
Okay.
question that you know it will be successful. You know, I tell people all the time. You got to put the right people in the right places if you want to be successful in anything, really. But in drag racing, you know, I surround myself with the best. If I can't, then I'm just not going to do it.
Well, some people get hard-headed and they're like, I got to be driver, tuner, trailer. I got to tow the trailer. I got to build the engine. I got to.
I'm like 95% that guy. Dude, I do it all. I drove the thing 16 hours from my house here.
Yeah.
16 hours. I mean, I'll drive this thing by myself wherever. I load the car, tune the car, you know, I mean, do all that stuff. I mean, I have, you know, my girlfriend, she comes with me and stuff like that 95% of the time. But, dude, it all, you know Ronny helps. Randy
We don't
helps.
have hired crew.
But, dude, the manual labor, it's me, man. And then all the tune-up calls, it's me. The
Well, we need to get rid of that.
it's
We
me.
told him this weekend, we're like,
And, dude,
you're going to stay off the laptop. We're going to make the
Whenever-
calls.
Like Dean would come with me sometimes, and dude, I would love it when Dean would come because I'd be like, we talk about it a little bit, and he just brings so much. Like Dean would bring so much knowledge and so much reassurance,
Confidence.
Confidence. So as a driver, it helps me because if I'm back there making a call, I go, oh my God, is it going to spin? Is it going to wheelie? Is it going to do
You're
this?
carrying
Is it gonna do
everything
that?
on your
Yeah, I have
shoulders.
everything, all this going on in my mind while I'm letting go of the trans brake button. You know.
Yeah.
So, like this weekend. Like I like when Ronny comes. It's hard for Ronny to come to all the races because somebody's got to be back at the shop making us money, you know. So, but
You have a kid too, right?
yeah,
Two, yeah.
Two,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it makes it tough.
It's hard. It's
So,
hard.
but now like Randy's here, Ronnie's here. I'm like, you know what?
We're splitting
you
the
guys,
work up.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like you guys, you know what I expect. You know, now we're just trying to like develop this stuff as well. But when it comes racing, no matter what, I will always kind of like make the calls of what we're going to do. But then I'll leave it up to him to make it happen in the computer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, go just do it. This is what we're going to do. This is how fast we want to go. You know. And Ronnie's usually the more aggressive one. I'm the
I'm
conservative one that like.
You say that, but if he walks over to my car and we're looking at something, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do this, this, and this." I'm like, "You sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." But when it comes to his car, he's like,
Oh, second guessing the shit out of it.
That's how I told Randy last night. We're looking at the computer. He's
like, we just
we're
went
talking
down.
about time. Just say we're going from 1 degree to 2 degree. I said, what would we do if it was my car? He
Yeah.
said, well, we'd put the 2 in.
We put the 2 in it. We would have went down on that.
Yeah,
I'd
we
walk
would've-
over and go, well, dude, it's right there.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
Now,
He's playing
me
it
over
safe.
here, I'd be like, well, let's split the difference and this and that.
Yeah, I'm a little more aggressive, but it works out for me.
Hey, you know, I've won a lot of races that way, so obviously it must work for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so
you-
to touch on World Cup a little bit, you made maybe 10, 15 passes. How many tune-up changes did you make?
So, I mean, we didn't touch.
We tested too, and it was doing it in test.
Well, but then like you
Oh,
know,
no, 'cause we
because
went-
you get ready to make your pass, and then the temperature changes,
Oh,
the sun
dude.
goes down. Like I know
we
people
worked
that
a
made
little-
30.
Well, the
his
problem is
car, we have a lot of data on his car. We have
No,
so much.
but we changed injectors and everything when we went to World
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
We had to
yeah.
make
But
330
I-
hits. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was like fucking
I
20
had
degrees
confidence
out.
in his car.
Yeah,
His car, I feel like we just have.
a connection.
We have
We're just-
the
we-
data and the
He knows my car a lot
passes.
more than
I know his car. He knows his car. Like when we talk about what we're going to change, he knows what to do with the chassis. I'm like, listen, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
And it shows.
Yep.
Whether it's Cecil, Rockingham,
Well,
World Cup.
and he came.
We've been working on his car for 4 years,
Right.
Yeah.
for even longer. So we just know his chassis and setup. So even
Yeah.
with our challenges that we had at World Cup,
Yeah, it's not-
I wasn't too worried
No.
about too much except for
No.
fixing.
But like the last, 2 races you came with me?
Yeah, so we've been studying his
before
car.
we switched to Motec, we were like, look, you
Like,
really
get
need
my
to come
head
to the
in.
races and
Kind
kind
of
of see.
what's going on here.
Yeah.
Just
There's a
kinda-
lot more going on with his car.
His car is a lot more for sure.
than
So
what
it
we
was
got.
like, so this way he can kind of get his mind going. When we switched to Motec, he had a little bit better feeling for the car.
Yeah, I wish we would have switched his car first because I know his car.
Been a
and
little
his
easier.
car, like, oh yeah, we're doing the Ultra Car, but his car is big shoes to fill.
Well, you take the number one car.
Yeah, and it's like let's rip everything out and start over.
Let's make it better.
Yeah, so
and
Let's
it's
make
like
a great car better.
But
that's what it takes, right?
I know
I
we'll
mean-
get there, but I know we're gonna have some struggles to work some details.
Yeah,
out.
we had
And I'm
the-
real easy to work with.
You're not going
I'm
to stay
real
the
pa-
champion.
I'm real patient.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we
Well, that was
we figured him out.
That
though.
was the other problem too with Troy at Race Wires. Like we knew this car. We were having problems last year with his car wiring and stuff. It's just like this wiring's
Troy's like-
5-6 years old.
It's longer.
Yeah.
The power side on
Yeah.
your car was even older.
It was
than
getting to
that.
the point. It was like it needs rewired, and he's like, "Well, if we're gonna rewire the whole entire car,
Yeah, that led up.
Troy
it's
has
just
a
like we're not gonna keep the Holly in it.
You need to get Troy on the show.
yes,
Oh my God,
Troy banged
That
it
race
out.
wire?
Yeah.
he banged it out in time.
he's a character.
Yeah.
yeah, it's character. Yeah.
Will there be some bleeps and some that
Yeah,
kinda-
yeah. Troy's good. man.
Troy's a good guy, man. I've been with Troy now for
Well,
I
even
get
with wiring, there's probably a lot of weight to save on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was a ton.
Some like
We're
new
waiting to see what
wires
that
so
is.
light.
Yeah, we're waiting to see what that is.
Yeah, we pulled a lot of older style stuff out and put a PDM in the
Yeah.
car. So it wasn't just a Motec switch either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We threw all the power control out that he had and put
Spaghetti
a PDM in it.
It was old
Programming
school
things
stuff.
different there. So
What
And
got
there's
me
probably
into
some
championship-
layers, like, you wire the car and then,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we actually have to add this now, and then
Oh,
a
dude,
Davis
that's-
box, and then a this, and then
That
that.
never
never
ends, man. Never ends.
There's just going to be layers on top of layers.
That's how it was.
I gotta post that picture up, the before and after picture.
Yeah.
Of Troy's.
Yeah, it's
And Troy's
crazy.
he's like hour and a half from me, so it works out really good. Troy's been doing a lot of cars, and he's a good guy, man. He's another one. Like my rule is, if you're gonna sponsor me or if I'm gonna work with you, I gotta be able to call you at midnight.
Yeah.
Like that's like a stipulation. If I can't call you at midnight, then-
Yeah.
Because when are you when are you chasing problems? At midnight at the racetrack.
Yep.
You're pulling your hair out, trying to figure this out, trying to figure that out. Troy's called me back at 1 o'clock in the morning at the racetrack, dude. I mean,
everybody in his program, whether it's the engine people, tuner,
Transmission guy,
wiring, everybody's invested to make him progress and just they're passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's why
I have had to let big companies go because they're not passionate.
yeah.
If we're going to work together, nobody's going to be as passionate as me. I get that. Of
course.
But
It has to start from you, though.
Right,
The
right.
passion has to come from
That's what
you.
Bischoff said
Yeah.
the other day. He was like, "You expect way too much out of people."
he goes, you expect people to be like you. He goes, you're crazy. I'm like, well, you're right, Tony. But, I've had to let people, because I'm like, you know what, dude? You're not invested in me like that.
Yeah.
And you're cashing out on me.
I
I'm
want
not
you to,
getting anything out of you.
Like he says, I want you to hang up the phone
Yeah.
and still think about, let's
You know,
we need
like
to really figure
companies
this
have
out.
called me back.
Thinking about
a
things.
day
like-
later, or an hour later. You know what? I was thinking about what you were talking about. And then we discussed this some more.
Yeah.
Where I hang up the phone with somebody and then I never hear from them again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the people I want to deal with. Is the people that when they hang that phone up, they're still thinking about it because they want me to progress with them as well. So, I just
That's why both your cars are successful because everybody around them.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Well, I get questions all the time of like, looking like tuner, who should I use? And I'm like, find somebody that likes your car.
Right.
Find
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
that
yeah.
actually like.
Yeah.
They could be the best tuner in the world, but if they don't really care,
Right.
then what's the point? You're not going to progress in your program. Like Alpha, who tunes my car, he genuinely really loves
Right.
that car and watching it go down the track.
Yep.
He has a passion for it. Midnight, he'll be remoted in tuning on it. Like any time of the day, he's answering questions about it, and that's the most important feature of a tuner is they have to like your car.
it's all that makes all the difference. in
That's
the
the
world.
other reason why I felt like I knew we were taking a big chance switching systems
That's
in
what
the middle of the thing. And I'm like,
he said to him,
dude,
he's
Chris,
like,
Chris
oh.
called me last night. Like we sent him data, and he's like, all right, look at this. Like every time we make a change. Same with Bischoff. If you're talking about an engine thing, he's like, hey, I thought about it.
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
we all talk about it. It's been great working
Yeah.
and learning.
And that's why, like he said
learning
about
from all
Randy, he's
them.
like, well, I don't know. He says it to me like probably once a week. I don't know why Randy's doing what he's doing. It's not like Randy's getting paid to do
I'm just
this.
getting a headache on
Right.
me.
Yeah, it's all it is a headache. I'm like, why are you doing this, Randy?
I could tune another 700 Hondas. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy I got that.
Yeah.
See that he wants the challenge.
Yeah. The challenge is
I mean,
what.
that's what we all do this for. Is for the next challenge.
We just love
Yeah.
being at the racetrack.
Yeah.
That's what it's just.
Well, that's why you see a lot of people I always like to see people punch up a class. They're like, I might
Oh,
not be
yeah.
competitive, but
Right.
they want
Yeah.
the challenge. Like I was talking to Brett Lasala before he went to World Cup, and I'm like, oh, why not just like put the smaller turbos on and try to run? He's like, no, I'm trying to like,
Right.
I'm trying to race up a
And,
class.
that's exactly where I'm at right now. 'cause
Oh, I'm same thing. I've been racing Ultra 10 years. You've been.
Right.
I'm
And
just
he's
done.
He's going to
Done.
take the same challenge on a new turbo car. It's something
Right.
he's never done, and we're like, let's learn
bored.
and
You're
push
bored.
for
Yeah.
new things. You know.
Yeah.
So I keep looking at LDR because that's obviously
Nobody wants to go slower.
No, absolutely not. That's the next stepping stone for me, obviously. I want my car in the threes. I mean, that's the last barrier for me in that particular car.
Yeah, you
And-
said that how many years?
Yeah, and it's
This is
like,
the last barrier.
yeah, and
It's always the last
Yeah,
one.
there's always
but then it's like, man, you look at LDR.
Yeah, that's
oh
a
my
tough
God.
class,
Yeah,
man.
man, like
Yeah.
the first round's like a final round.
Yeah, that
But like
class-
I feel like I do better.
Oh, he does so much better under pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
testing and qual, forget.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, when I got to throw everything at it, that's when I want to race.
Yep.
But it's like, I don't know that I could go to, I think they have 6 or 7 races. I'm like, dude, if I didn't win one race, I don't know how I'd feel at the end of the year. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, it's the baddest class. I mean, the tightest class there is right now. But I'm like, man, because I need money too to keep going.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But like, I think I would.
It doesn't just roll
No,
on
but
its
you
own.
do. I think you would be successful because you race so good under pressure. Like you'd rather race the number 1 guy first round.
Yep, absolutely.
Than
But you don't win all the rounds by being the fastest, and you guys know how to make
Oh, yeah.
all that other stuff come together as
No,
well.
I feel I feel I will. The only time I really pat myself on the back is I feel I'm a good racer.
I love
You know
LDR
what the-
too. I think that class is one of the few classes that has like real cars in it.
Right.
Like
The-
Red's
right.
car
Oh, yeah.
is like a real car. Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
real
yeah.
Nova,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Red's awesome. He's
Oh yeah.
I love hanging out at the track with him and watching him work
Yep.
and stuff because
No,
and
that's
that
just
car is
variety
a
of
real
cars
car.
is just so cool.
they're close.
Yeah.
They're all
Dude,
close.
And the 315s on there makes it pretty interesting
Yeah, right.
too because like those cars are big body. They
Well,
kind of
295s, right? Yeah, 295s.
yeah 295s yeah.
Yeah.
But they're big compared to
Oh,
yeah. No, they're
So
That's a cool class. I like
Yeah.
LDR, and of course John Sears keeps the rules so tight.
yeah.
Is there many other nitrous cars in LDR?
You got like Jamie
Jamie,
Hancock.
not no more. Jamie switched to blower.
Did he?
Yeah. Another nitrous guy going.
Did he?
Yeah.
I could be the new nitrous guy in LDR. The only
You're
nitrous
gonna
guy.
get all the weight breaks now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Henderson went the blower.
I love Chad's car.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
You got
McCain had the Black Plague in there.
That's still over there. Who else
No.
is driving that?
Oh, Double Horse.
Devil Horse is still.
But I don't feel like he's running that this year though.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Kind of leaves a nice little open slot.
Yeah.
Delgado's coming down to tune on that Pro Mod though,
He
right?
told me he's going to be remote. I don't think he's going to be here.
Okay, because I was watching them test it a little bit, and that thing's real nice.
Yeah.
Which car is this?
Eric's car.
Promon. Eric's driving the Pro
Oh,
Mod.
Eric's car. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's
And White
super
Rice,
nice.
he's going to do both, I believe. this
Double
week.
duty on
Yeah,
that deal?
yeah, that's what I know. From what I know of, I don't know.
He's got so many laps in White Rice though. It's not
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
It's not even interesting for him anymore. He's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it might blow up.
Might. Yeah.
It's a 2J. They're
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
pull the head off every pass.
They-
Eric's like, wait, God, what was the last race we were at? He brought
They were at
had
World
12
Cup.
heads
and
or something. Had 12 cylinder heads or some shit like that. I mean, Jesus Christ, Eric.
It tapped the wall a little bit at World
Yeah,
Cup.
Dude, that was the slowest wreck ever.
Yeah.
It's the slowest wreck. We're watching it at the shop. We're like, oh. And we're like, oh, leaning and going like, oh no. It's like
scratch
damn.
the wing.
Yeah.
Oh
They-
darn.
Yeah.
They work hard on that program.
Yeah.
That's we always
God.
joke around. I'll put a 2J in my car for Ultra, and I'm
No,
like, man,
I
I
would
don't want to
not.
work that hard. That's too hard. That's
Dude.
worse than nitrous shit.
Yeah.
They're insane over there. But they have spare motors and stuff. I'm like, you guys are insane. Like
That's what I expect, because on the Honda World that we do, the all-wheel drive stuff, we have motors on deck. We have heads and stuff. We have whole engines on deck to swap out when needed.
Those guys are so prepared to work so hard.
Oh,
Those
that-
Honda
yeah,
guys.
they-
That's where I grew. That's what I grew up in, and
Fuck, they got engines holding down tents at World Cup.
yeah,
But you know when
they've
like
gotten better. We've gotten better. The front-wheel drive stuff tears them up a lot
Yeah.
more, but our all-wheel drive stuff has made them last a lot longer because you're just not on traction as hard, trying to be super aggressive.
and the all-wheel drive stuff is stupid. It's gotten so expensive so quickly. Over like 4 years, it just went from like
We just built a new
Budget
car, so
to just like-
his guy March just built a new
we
car.
just built a new car, so
yeah
we're going to be testing that soon, and we should be out.
Marsh. You said
Mark Podquick.
That'll be cool. So that'll be out. What are some of the memorable or races when you think about some of the ones that really stand out in your mind, or some of the passes, some of the races, the tracks? I know the Northeast tracks are a little weird. They're starting to go away. Some are fighting for their survival, around here a little.
I mean, my first memory, the first time I went fours, Nitrous and X275s, that was a big barrier back in the day.
Shakedown Englishtown, wasn't it?
Yep.
That's crazy to think about fours being
Yeah, dude, I made like
Oh, man.
I made the most 5.0 passes in the world, and then I went 498, and like it was a huge deal, man. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm never gonna go any faster than that. Like, holy shit, here we are going 4.0s. That was a big one. My first win at Ducks race was a.
You're good at that. You do. I think you probably. Dude, I don't know. You got to be the most winning.
I got a lot of hats, man. I'm proud
You
to say
got
I got
a lot of hats
from
and
Ducks.
trophies. from
You got
Ducks.
the seats, the thrones.
Dude, I can't get one. I cannot.
No throne?
I don't do well at the
I
Sweet
almost had
16.
one.
I can't get that one. So I've got a shakedown win.
Can you trade enough hats for a throne?
Yeah.
Like at an arcade?
It's there's like I said, the first one in Ducks thing was good because you see all these people with all these hats and all. It's like the big race to
Duck
win.
has
and
cool trophies.
And
It
I was
does.
like, to get that was that was an honor, man. And then the championship one was that's my best.
The first yellow bullet was pretty good.
Yeah, my first yellow bullet, of course.
I've never been to a yellow bullet.
Yeah.
It seems like a really fun
Yeah,
atmosphere
it is
and race
good.
to go
Yeah, it
to.
is. There's a lot of.
And that one's up at Cecil, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's our home track, man.
That's a funny one because you drive through a neighborhood and then you're at a track, right?
Not really. It's just it's right off 95.
Maybe I'm thinking of the other track.
Yeah, it's
that
right off
way.
95, and it's on a back road. It's like
Maybe I'm thinking
minutes
of
off
Maple
95.
Grove.
Maple Grove, you're driving through all the Amish.
Yeah.
I can't remember which. I've been to one of them up there, and I can't remember which one because it's been a while since I was up in the Northeast. My last track was obviously World Cup.
Man, we lost fucking Englishtown.
Yeah.
Echo.
I live right next to Echo.
Capital.
Capital's back running.
Is it?
I mean, a little bit.
Englishtown's kind of sad because it's still there,
Yep.
and they
Right.
still use it, but
For,
just not for
drifting.
drag racing.
Yeah.
And there's
It's
it's still
disappointing.
there.
It
Right.
is disappointing.
Right.
Just use it. Just put some barriers and
Yeah, it's a shame.
We were
like,
there all the time.
That's why it's good to see you see Halsey. Halsey's just
Oh my God, dude.
just
They run such a great program.
But no,
Yeah,
he's
and they
investing.
put-
He keeps
he-
investing in that
it's
track,
no different
man.
than honestly.
Like Bradenton.
It's no different than Vic and
Yeah.
Cletus and Garrett. Like this, they're
And
investing into our
Even
racing.
Raul as well.
Yeah, Raul. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Investing,
man, that-
like to see people invest like that in the racetracks just for us, it's just like because there's a lot of people that just quit.
Yeah.
A lot of people just quit because I couldn't imagine what they got to deal with. Like, look what Garrett and Vic got to deal with the neighborhoods and stuff. Like,
Oh my God, that's a sad situation there.
it's
I'm glad Raul has the reins of South Georgia because
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know him. I know he's a racer. I know he's been no time racing
he's
forever.
Super nice guy.
And he seems like he's truly dedicated to making that
Oh,
place
dude, him,
awesome.
him and his wife are awesome, man. I don't even know them, and they treat me just. I can only assume they treat everybody the same way.
Oh, I'm sure
Like,
they-
you know what I
yeah.
mean? I call him up or I need something or whatever because sometimes I leave my stuff there or whatever, and he's like, whatever you need, man. Like I mean, they're just super super nice.
Yeah, it's cool to see that kind of happen. And it's hard to keep a track going. It's not
I
an
couldn't
easy
imagine.
I
thing.
couldn't even imagine.
I can't even.
There's like a million
look at
other
this. It's
businesses.
raining all week.
Yeah, what do you do? Like that's what he said about Vic. He said, "Man,
Yeah,
I feel
look
bad
at
for
my-
Vic."
People
Like,
are people
the
are
money he
bitching
lost
about
on-
dumb stuff. I'm like, it's raining all week. He's trying to keep this thing running. He's gonna
Look
do
at all
his
those
best.
$300 tech cards he's lost out.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That he was.
Plus, he's got to clean. He's still got to run all these tractors, clean
Yep.
it up.
They're
He's
pumping
still-
water out of pits.
Yep.
Like they're trying.
Paying
They're still
employees.
trying to get spectators to show up. Like
Yep.
it's hard to. And you
paying
don't
his
have
employees to
control
be
of that.
there.
No.
You don't have control of the weather.
No.
And people think you do. There's people out there that have this racers that have this perception that Victor has some control over the weather
Yeah.
or the weekend or how it's going, and it's just like
What are you gonna do, Vic? What are you gonna do? Like, what do you
He's-
think he's gonna do? He's gonna
Yeah.
wait till you got
He
waste
makes-
of Mother Nature. Like,
You know he's gonna do the best he can.
He's going to do the best he
I-
can. You're going to see and change as the situation changes. He makes it work.
it's currently raining, and people are like, "When do you think we're gonna start racing?"
know, right?
It's raining
Right.
and 40 degrees out. What do you mean? The sun's not
don't
out.
be an idiot.
Don't be.
You've raced long enough to understand this, or
Right.
this is no secret here. Yeah, I don't know.
He's constantly improving, which is great to see.
Yeah, he's like Halsey, honestly.
Yeah, Jim They do such a good job.
He buys equipment
Dude.
after equipment after equipment. I'm like, God, like he is like invested in this thing. It's
they do a great job.
It's tough because, you know,
I'm proud to call that my home track.
yeah, 100%.
It's
Yeah,
really
100%.
I can understand the feeling because, you know, you saw how close I am to
Yep.
BMP. I drive my
It's
car
no
there.
different than Bradenton for you guys.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
no
Yeah.
different.
Exactly.
100% the same thing.
It's awesome, and I'm happy as can be to hand my $20 to get my test and
yeah,
tune
yeah.
ticket.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's still only $20. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys,
We,
this is
that's
crazy.
so fun. We talked about that a little
How
while
do-
ago.
yeah, how-
Halsey, we've been charging the same for how long?
Yeah. And people don't realize that. They don't look at that. They don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
Before ACCO went out, they were up in prices, and they were still filling the pits,
Yeah.
and then they still went out. So
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do about that. And I think, is it New England Dragway that has like a collection of people that own it or something like
I'm not
that?
sure about that.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I know there's one
You
up
know what
that
the
way.
common denominator is with Bradenton, Cecil, and SGMP? You know what the common denominator is?
And even Maple Grove now.
Yes, Maple Grove too.
With-
They're all owned by what?
Drag racers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew you were going with that. 'Cause you got,
Damn right. It makes a difference, man.
Yeah.
They're not. Let me tell you something. They're not in it for the money.
No.
You know what I mean? You know,
No,
just like
even-
us racers, we're not in it for the money.
Yeah.
Like Halsey has a
Yeah.
real job still.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Kyle Kerensky, they've been putting in the Maple Grove since they got it.
Yep.
He's been promoting it.
These
putting
guys
money
have
into
real
that.
jobs still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
because you
got their
gotta
hands
love
on
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Like Alan, who used to own the track, you know, he sold a business and then bought the track, and he just loved running a racetrack. Like, it wasn't his like, oh, I need to
Make money.
make my
Right,
millions
right.
off of running the
Yeah,
racetrack.
yeah,
It was
right.
like, I just like doing it. And
That's
now
like he
he's
says all the time. I don't know how you get people to work here.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you find employees to work at a racetrack? Dude, that's like the worst job ever, I
Yeah.
think. Like to sit there and just
Oil
like
down.
scrape the track and you don't, yeah, oh my God. They're like the unsung heroes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's a tough thing. I don't know how I'd be able to stand there and watch all these cars.
I need you to come here and work. I don't know when you're going to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how,
Clean up
how hot
everybody's-
it's going to be. You got to scrape, clean oil up. And,
Oh, but the people appreciate me. Like, no, they're all gonna yell at you.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, yeah,
they're all mad at you.
yeah, what's taking so long?
Right.
It's like you gotta just check their harnesses and stuff. You know, like simple things like that. Yeah, it's people don't give them enough credit at the racetrack.
No.
And it's tough. It's
No.
a hard thing, but also, you know, we've become so custom and needing of this high level of track prep
Yeah.
that it
Oh,
makes
Oh,
it
yeah.
even
We get a
harder
little.
for 'em.
Sometimes you got to check ourselves. Like,
Right, right.
Yeah.
But that was.
Yeah, is this my fault? Like,
Yeah.
do I just suck?
What do you mean it's not perfect?
Yeah.
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 But it's like, you know, yeah. That's what makes testing these cars so hard, too. You can't
You
just.
can't just go on like a regular. You can't test it. Like you gotta. You just gotta go to a race to test.
Yeah.
You can't just.
Well, that's what makes this event tough too, because there's pro mods on a big slick, and then they're also trying to work in radial tire
Radials.
cars, and it's like, how do you balance that out without making
Yes.
one of them
I'll tell you what,
unhappy?
that's the World Cup. I always struggle with World Cup, so I run
Yeah.
the front wheel drive cars, I run the all drive, and then I run the radio
Yep,
car.
yep.
I struggle chasing that track surface because he tries to make it the best for a little bit of everybody, and I always struggle with that because the track surface is trying to be in the middle.
Yeah. Well, one lane will get shade all of a sudden too
Yeah.
for an hour, and the other
yeah,
lane will have
yeah.
the sun, and it's like, well, one of them's gonna be good, the other one's gonna be cold. Yeah, it's tough, and then there's so much downtime, not Jason's fault at all.
No,
Just
no.
Right.
people trying to push their cars harder than they should be, and
Yeah, 30-degree weather.
yeah. And over driving it too, you'll see them at like 1,000 feet still trying to drive the thing
Yeah.
around someone when they're out on them.
Everybody's going for records at that event, so they're not letting out.
Right.
They're running on 3 cylinders on a 4-cylinder, and they know they're still in it all the way down
Yeah.
through the track.
Oil spraying on the
Oh, yeah,
windshield.
yeah.
You're 4
Right.
cars behind the guy. And
Almost
you're
there.
still,
They're
I'm
gonna
almost there.
They're gonna get that number one way or the other. That's all.
What's
That's
the-
what they're there for.
What's the best part about coming to Bradenton?
Oh yeah.
That's an easy answer.
Your
See,
roommate.
Sam.
Your roommate.
Sam, my roommate.
oh yeah, Mr. Sam.
Oh, he's
he
the
lives
best,
there.
man.
He lives there.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like my second home.
yeah.
Oh, dude, sit down in the evening, have a Coke with Sam, talk about things.
It's
There's
really
nothing better.
a staple of Bradenton to listen to Sam's stories.
Absolutely, Sam's the best.
I'll sit there, and if he'll just talk, I'll just listen. Like,
He's got.
Oh,
He's
he's
go.
had us We've been there the last couple of days, and he's just, dude, he's just,
isn't his memory recall insane?
dude,
incredible.
he's just, oh.
He's like, yeah, like, you know,
So-
first job telling me about it. And it's just like, did this happen yesterday?
Yeah.
If you can't have a good time when you're with Sam, or if you can't smile when you're with Sam, There's something wrong with you.
Have you been to his machine shop? He's got a full.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Guy's got a backyard machine
He's
shop
got his
just
own
for his
bedroom there.
toys.
I got my own room there. What are you talking about? I was in his machine shop yesterday in my socks.
Yeah.
Because it's right off the kitchen. You walk out the kitchen, there it is.
Oh, I'm sure he loves that too.
Dude, he is the best, man.
Folds his laundry.
I was here last year at the race. I was angry as always. I had the heads off. The trans is out. It's like Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. I'm pissed. Got this thing all apart, and I just all mad and stuff. And Sam comes walking to my pit. I just look down and put my head down.
Like, you can't.
Sam goes, "I love you, Ron." I'm like, "Oh man." He gave me a big hug, and I was all good then. I was like re-energized. I'm like, I'm in a good mood now.
Then he starts polishing your wheels.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Gotta make sure they're highly
What do you
polished.
say, Ron? It's gonna be okay.
it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right, buddy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's become a real cool racing community down here in the last
yeah.
You
few
guys
years.
really do have a
Yeah, you,
between
Doug,
Doug and all the other
Garrett,
James,
James,
induction, even like all those.
Yeah,
guys.
those guys being real close, and Motion and everybody was at TBM. It seemed like the past couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of the
we were
rain.
there Tuesday. Or
Doug's been awesome too, man. He's just been.
Dude, Doug.
Doug's actually helped us out with the website stuff, like just
Doug.
like advice on how to.
Yeah, we were
Because,
doing
Doug's a
we were
big-
doing conference calls with Doug.
He's a
once
wizard
week.
with that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
he was.
He's just knows that stuff. He knows how to market.
He's just dealt with every problem at this point.
Yeah.
So he's
No,
got.
he's-
So he's been and that was his doing. He's
Yep.
like he reached out to us.
Yep.
I was like, look, man, I can give you a hand, some advice and stuff like that, and
And then you hate bothering a guy because you know how busy he is.
Oh,
But
yeah,
dude, he's
he's-
just.
so
It's another midnight call him up and
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
dude. Even with our racing program.
best time to get a hold of Doug is like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That's when he's up.
Yeah.
That's the
Cool.
best time to get a hold of him, between 5 and 6.
And you guys both have TBMs on your cars, right?
Ever.
Of course, yeah.
Is the TBM in the Honda world at all?
They're still, I think they're
They're
starting to make
starting-
stuff.
starting
Yeah, 'cause
to.
I think they're starting to make some stuff. They just did the pro car. They just had in there.
PMR's car?
Yeah, they're doing that.
After
I
he
think
beat
they're making
Brett, they
stuff-
brought him in to put some brakes on.
Yeah, I believe there's stuff coming out.
Oh, that's cool, because that'll be a good market for them. And I know Doug didn't really play in that world, so it's not something
Yeah,
he's like used to.
a lot more motion stuff and all that. They're more aware of it and on
Yeah.
that side and using all their things.
That's really cool. They do such a good job on their stuff, man. It's
Doug's,
it's one of
Doug's
those
passionate
things, the
for it.
racers.
Doug's a racer and he's passionate
Yeah.
for it. So he just.
Anytime you can have a racer involved
Yeah.
in anything, like, just like we talked about the racetrack, the parts business, I mean,
Usually you see it in the quality of product because they get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They get the differences versus somebody who's just making some stuff. And
right.
Yeah. Well, he's about to be on Sick Week, a 800-mile journey in his race car.
Yeah.
Right.
How many other, race owners or,
No.
like race
Participating.
part owners do stuff like that?
So
you
where's
know,
that
it's
go?
not
So what
common.
tracks is that hitting?
Starts at SGMP.
Starts at SGMP on Monday, or
Right.
Saturday, Sunday, they do some testing. But Monday, then down to Bradenton, then Orlando, then Gainesville, then back to SGMP.
wow.
Okay. So it's
So-
over when? Friday?
Yeah, goes the
Okay.
whole 5 days.
Okay.
it's a lot.
Track to track, yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah,
But
Sam was telling me how nice the weather's going to be next week. I said, Sam, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't
And
wanna
it's
hear
gonna be
about how
perfect.
nice it's going to be next
It's
week.
gonna be great.
just
next
pop
week.
a radiator in your car.
Yeah.
And,
We talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
I'm gonna do it. I got my street car. I'm gonna gear up and just kind of play with that a little bit. Just something different to do.
Yeah.
Take another week off work.
Take another week off. No, it'd be like an 8-second car, so it'd be fun to do.
It runs mid-9s right now on motor, so we're gonna do something just to make it a little bit more fun.
They have like cool NA classes and
Right.
stuff too, and it's just for the fun of it.
And
I
dude,
mean,
and that's all. That's all we want to do, just for fun. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about winning and doing this or that. There's nothing cooler than
Ain't
driving
no-
a race car
Ain't
on the street. You know what I
nobody,
mean?
Ain't nobody got anything cooler than Brett.
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to really.
Yeah, he's just got it. Dude, he's just.
Watched him go like 397 in Sick Week trim the other day, and I was just
He's a
like,
World Cup driving it back.
yeah,
He runs a World Cup, and drives the car back.
honking
Drives
the
it up.
horn.
650
on the way
driving
back.
Yeah, what
Those
about that?
Coyotes are stupid. They're such
That-
good motors.
Dude, that thing is insane.
Yeah, but that little 5-liter, man, they work pretty well. Well, I know you guys have to get on the road, so we'll wrap this up. Where can they follow you guys out? Where we'll put some links in the description, of course,
Okay.
but just to put
We
them
got
all out
Ron
there.
Rhodes Racing, YouTube.
Yep.
Rhodes Custom Auto, Instagram.
Got
and
it.
obviously Facebook. We got Ron Rhodes, Ronny Rhodes.
And then
Randy.
the parts.
RhodesCustomAuto.com.
Rhodes Custom Auto. What kind of just I guess of parts and cars
Radiator
do you guys
supports,
do stuff
seat
for?
bracket.
Radiator supports from like first gen Camaros to
First-
square body trucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
we
got
got
S10s,
we get
S10s,
Chevelles,
Chevelles.
Novas. We're getting a lot of them covered. I don't have 100% of them covered yet, but it's just getting the cores, getting a good solid cores is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
And getting somebody to work
Finding
with
a non-rusted
Right,
car
yeah,
up in the
yeah.
Northeast.
Right, and then getting a customer to work with me to fit it and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so that, and then door hinges for a variety of models. Seat brackets. Seat brackets are a good mover. They say, man, you can mount seats in your your car and your quirky seats like
Yeah.
in an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not have to pay a chassis shop.
People don't realize the value of safely mounting a seat.
Right.
Oh.
There's a lot of value in
I hate
safely
mounts.
mounting your seat.
Mounting seats. So.
Oh, you bring $1,500. You take it to shop to get done or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
But
even
yeah.
then, the shop might not mount it as safely as your
Right.
tested and tried and true
Yep,
seat
yep,
mounts.
yep.
Not to say anything bad about a prop shop, but they just might not.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
So, okay, cool. So
all right.
I'll put all that stuff in the description. Guys, thank you so much
All
for
right,
coming
thank you.
on. That was a lot of fun.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And
man.
you
I
guys
enjoyed it.
get back to the track and sit around in the cold, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
guys next time. Oh wait, your tuning services. Do
It's
you
just-
have anybody to reach out to you for?
RS Tech Racing is my thing. It's
Okay.
online. I do tuning and some wiring.
Okay, cool. So we'll
Limited
put that in the
Limited
description.
wiring. I pick and choose.
Send it to Troy.
I don't have. I send it to Troy for wiring. I pick and choose my wiring. I don't have as much bandwidth as most
Yeah.
other shops.
Most people don't.
He's got a
wanna
real
wire.
job still.
Yes. He's got 2 jobs now.
Yeah, 2 jobs today. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Well, good deal, guys. Thank you so much for
All right,
coming.
thank
We'll
you.
see you next time.